Hello, everyone. Welcome to Women in Web3 podcast that celebrate the inspiring story of women who are shaping the future of technology. I'm your host, Kenneth Choo, and in each episode, we dive into the world of Web3, explore the incredible work being done by women in blockchain, NFTs, Metaverse, and much more. As someone who is passionate about diversity and inclusion in tech, I created this podcast to showcase the achievement and the challenges of women who are making waves in the industry. Our goal is to inspire more women to get involved and help build a world that is more equitable and inclusive for everyone. So without further ado, let me introduce our guest for today's episode. Bonnie is the global growth lead at Monoverse and has been working on creating Frutti Dino go-to-market strategy. She is responsible for community development and global marketing to establish the leading brand in the blockchain gaming market. As a former global partnership manager at Korea Trade Investment Promotion Agency, she has expertise in finding and connecting innovative business concepts with potential investors, raising audience engagement, and developing go-to-market communication strategy that complement the company's strategic goals and initiative. She has previous experience managing communities for several NFT and blockchain initiatives. Her skills include collaborating successfully with variety of stakeholders, raising audience engagement, and developing go-to-market communication strategy that complement the company's strategic goals and initiative. I'm so thrilled to have her on the show today to share her insights and experience with us. So without further ado, let us welcome Bonnie Jung. Hi, Bonnie.
Hello, it's nice to meet you guys. I think it's too late in Asian time, but thank you for it's pleased to be invited. I'm Bonnie. As he introduced, I'm the global growth lead at Monoverse. We are the blockchain game development studio, and our main project is Frutti Dino. It's the adorable dinosaurs with the fruit combination, and we are making Web2 and Web3 bridge the kind of aim to bridge games. Yes, and as a global growth lead, I'm kind of doing everything with my incredible team to bring our project to the global stage. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Bonnie, for that. And also, before we start, right, in fact, there's a tradition for every guest that comes onto the show. They get to answer the question of the day posted by the previous guest. So before we start, are you ready to answer the question of the day posted by the previous guest
Oh,
before we can start?
oh yes.
Good. It's a surprise, right? Yeah. So this question, right? Let me just post it over here. And let's see. The question of the day posted by the previous guest is: if there is one food that you can eat for the rest of your life without getting fat, what would it be?
Oh,
Okay.
getting
You
fat.
you do you want yeah. So if you have one food, right, that you can eat without thinking
Mm,
of getting fat, so what would it be? Do you need some time to think about it, or you already have the answer on
already
your head?
have answer because I work out hard for my health and also not losing weight, but just maintain my health. But it's really gluten like bread. It's not really good to eat every day because it can make you fat. But I really love bread, so one thing maybe I can choose is a bread that I want to eat uh, if it's not getting fat.
So bread, is it your the one food that you can eat is bread, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for answering the question of the day. Now we can officially kickstart. And I realize that we have a lot of friends that is streaming now, live streaming. So maybe you can say hello to them. Maybe some of them are your friends, are your supporter, right?
Yes. Hello. And I think my mother is also watching this because
Oh wow.
yes, I asked my mother to like see what I am doing and what she's really very smart and very enthusiastic about the wanted to know what I'm doing and also very good at economic and blockchain. So I asked her to join.
Wow. So do you want to do a greeting in Korean to your Korean fans, your friends that were logging in?
Oh, I know. Definitely they will understand English, and really thank you very much for just uh, joining. And really, I will say I will message you guys.
No, because for me, I haven't heard you speak Korean before, so
Mm.
maybe you can just do a formal introduction because we have friends from all around the world, right?
Oh,
So I believe that they would know, maybe from there they will also understand where you are from also.
oh, okay. But I usually use English in even in Korea because there are lots of
Oh,
people
interesting.
using or from the abroad. But I will say in Korea that in Korean very not often. 좀 말씀드린 것처럼 이렇게 조언해 주셔서 정말 감사합니다. 끝까지 열심히 하겠습니다. 잘 들어주세요.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. Although I don't understand anything, it just sound like you're thanking them
Yes.
for supporting and all that stuff. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of Korean dramas, variety show. Yeah, so thank you very much. And I'm seeing them that they're coming in a lot more. So before we proceed, right, maybe you can do a short introduction of yourself. Although I've done an introduction for you about you. So maybe you can do a short introduction about yourself. What were you doing before getting into Web3? Were you doing something that? And then how did you get into Web3? Maybe you can do a short introduction about yourself, your background, where you are from, and how you get started into the Web3 space.
As you mentioned, that I'm based in South Korea, but I do as a global growth lead. I do many global meeting and go around the conferences to kind of spread out or expose our Frutti Dino, my project, our projects to the global. And just shortly about my background is actually not to be specific. It's not related about Web3. I was started my job as a chemical trading company and then moved to Kotra as organizing trading conference expo and B2B meeting. And I was served as an interpreter, not simultaneous interpretation, just like next to them, and for ensure that good contracts. And then after that, I joined the global medical company Abbott, and there I also do the kind of designing and strategy and negotiation with the government bodies. And Web3 space joining start is because of my friend. One of my friend said about the NFT, and she want to became the NFT creator. So I was helping her to kind of uh, helping her design description translation. And I joined there. To translate her work, I need to fully understand about the concept of NFT and trend. And I start to analyze about the NFT, and I really like the community. Like people have same like minded. So and then I joined and started to be the moderator and community manager, and then really became fully engaged in Web3 space.
Wow, so you came really a long way. So when you talk about coming to Web3 because of your friend,
Mm.
because you were translating, what were you translating? Is it
Oh,
Korean to English and all that?
oh yes, she was Korean, but she wanted to be an NFT creator. And
Mm,
usually in the OpenSea or marketplace, there is a description about all description is English, and white paper is all English. So I was
mm,
helping her to translate it.
mm. So when you say you were translating, so you studied English in your school, and you were major in that. That's why you were helping that, and you will be able to translate.
Oh, my major is English, and I mostly spent my middle and high school in South Africa and oh
Wow.
yes, and Canada, so I can speak English. And most of my job was related English, so I can
Mm.
easily help her for that.
Wow. Thanks a lot for sharing because like you were saying, because I was wondering like how why did you say that even in Korea you were
Mm,
communicating in English most of the time because you majored in English and you are hired because of your strength in English. That's why you keep you have to use the English and also the global lead, right?
yes.
Yeah. So that also explain why I believe that, because for me we didn't really dive deep that much to understand more about what were you and how did you come to Web3 into your current company. Thank you for sharing. So the next question, right, is more for myself. Is to ask you. This is some a question that I ask all the guests, right? So why did you accept my invitation to be my guest on Women in Web3 podcast? Because Women in Web3 podcast, right, is being hosted by a man,
Mm.
and you agreed to be on my podcast. So maybe you can share with me and also share with the audience why did you agree to come onto my podcast as a guest moderated by a man.
Mm, actually, I'm just really pleased to be here to because it's a podcast to empower women in Web3, not or who are interested in Web3, and even not a Web3. I really empower women who are working very hard. And for Kenneth, we didn't even haven't met in person yet. We will soon meet in Singapore in September soon, but I uh, when we have Zoom meeting before, I'm a little bit suspicious. Why men? Mostly women are do this kind of organization or host a podcast. But when we talk deeply about your visions and why you did, I felt that it's a real you have a real true desire to support and educate and help. So really, it felt me to join, and I checked, and also that your long time podcast with one entrepreneur, and yeah, it inspired me to join here.
Wow, thank you so much because like you even did some homework and find, okay, Kenneth, what was Kenneth doing? Oh, Kenneth was doing podcast, and like you talked about, right? I had another podcast which is to interview mompreneurs, mother who started business from all around the world. I've done in the past 6 years. I've just finished my 120 episode,
Mm.
which is season 6. So at the meantime, because of you, that you are the women in Web3 and also a lot of other amazing women in Web3 that also that I've connected with, and realized that why wasn't there a podcast that is focusing on um, um, sharing and showing and highlighting women in Web3. So thank you so much for sharing, and that also brings us to the topic of today, right? And because you were with Monoverse, you guys created your game, and that's why we talk about, oh, why is Web3 games different from Web2, and we came out with this title, which is why Web3 games stand out in the gaming industry. Maybe you can share with us more. And what do you realize that what is the difference between that?
Or as you maybe heard that many major game company also transition to the Web 2 to Web 3 with their own original games and integrated with blockchain technology to make their Web 2 game to Web 3 game, or they are making their own platform. I think because there is a they see the advantages of the blockchain and community, and can give the community member or fans to more about the ownerships using by the NFT. That's why I chose to join Monoverse Games Studio, or I mean blockchain game studio, because there are very diverse theme of the project, like NFT or DeFi or infrastructure. But I saw that the game will be the mainstream too, uh, integrated with the blockchain, and easy to get people to. Even though we didn't say it's a blockchain game, people will get easy to, I mean, adopt. So I think that is why this game is the most main theme to I mean most major company and also others are integrating.
Yeah. So when you talk about that, right, like these days, right, I've seen a lot of Web2. Like for me as a guy, right, I've been playing games since I was young, and there were a lot of famous names that are coming on board. Like we talk about the Web2
Mm-hmm.
games, right? So they have integrated with blockchain and stuff like that. So what is your thought about that of them coming onto Web3, like the Web2 game companies, they integrated with blockchain and transferred them into Web3 games. So what is your thought about it? Any
Oh,
examples that we are familiar with, like the names of the Web2?
because there are many Korean major company, Korean game company. There are a lot, and they are already integrated blockchain game and already made a platform, and also others are building it, and I welcome them really because they also can promote or to bring general users, the general true gamers to the Web3. But one point, just I want to just in my perspective, they have to make sure that because they have a fan base good game, well, they have to know that uh, it is really good to integrate it with the blockchain technology. Even blockchain technology, they maybe succeed more, but if they integrate it, blockchain, is there any more benefit or people will like it? Because still there is many true gamer are not familiar with the blockchain and like a little bit has don't want to be
Hesitant, right?
so being
Why is that so? Why are the developers hesitant about adopting Web3?
oh, not developer, I mean the gamer, because
Oh, the gamer.
because
Okay.
there are many issues, and also gamer want to really enjoy the game, but blockchain game image is like kind of equals to crypto, like uh, company
Mm-mm.
want to just want to raise the more money, so they integrated blockchain, but it is not. We want to give
Mm.
more benefit to the users, but gamer might not understand about that, and also there are hurdles and barriers to really get into the blockchain game, like making a MetaMask or something like that. So it is a little bit hard, but they make sure they have a strategy for mass adoption. Yeah.
Yeah. So now you talk about the mass adoption, right? Would you say that because a lot of gamers, right, they have not even understand the whole concept of Web3, and you mentioned about the other thing is about the image. It's like when you do a Web3 games, it's always connected with cryptocurrency, which is not I would say now is not at a good light, and also there's a lot of media talking about cryptocurrency.
Mm,
Yeah, so that was like maybe in the past 2 to 3 years, right? The cryptocurrency news wasn't as good,
mm,
and we know that the market in the crypto world as overall, right, is also very low, very bearish. And in fact, a lot of coins or even a lot of cryptocurrencies, digital currencies are not as high as back then. So the would you say that is the confident level that doesn't allow the gamers to appreciate or adopt Web3 games because they don't understand why are the developers or the brands are going into Web3? Is that so?
uh, as I think, I believe in the near future, they will not think blockchain game, just gaming. Not
Mm,
really
mm.
like blockchain.
It become mainstream, right?
Yes,
Mainstream.
mainstream, like not blockchain game that like depart and Web 2 and
Mm,
Web 3 game. There will be it together, and there will if
mm,
the game quality and good, and if there's fun, they will just do it. And we and also the other game company really need to build hard. And another thing that I would like to point is that in Web3 world, we can build together and cooperate together. That's the really, I think, really good point that I engage in this industry. So we don't have to be compete. It's the time to build together at this stage. So, and there are many chances to do so. So I believe that we can make our build together to bring or make good image about the Web3 games. Yeah.
So when you say that in Web3, right, people can co-create, do they need to be a developer, or as a gamer they can just create that?
These days, like project cooperate together to expose and get many community members. And these days, trend is to help builders or community members to make their own creation or something do for the game, make it like making kind of asset, their own asset in the game, put in the game. So more engagement to the game. I think I think that is nice idea to engage gamer, not just play the game. They also make something for in the game, I think.
So the can create what they want, and other gamers can also share that assets that you mentioned, right?
Yes, and also what Monoverse is creating is interoperability, which means that usually when you have one NFT or two NFT, you can use in one game, right? But we aim to be true interoperability. It means that one NFT you can use in many games, and that has a one IP, which means we have a one character and have a different genre of the games. Yes.
Yeah, so I think it's very interesting. So is this possible in Web 2, or Web 2 is not possible at all because there's no creation or builder that is available in Web 2 games?
In Web2 games, usually company are developing. They have their own decision to make it, and their character is cannot fully own. They cannot fully own if the game just close. They will not have. They cannot see their character again. But if it is changed as NFT, you can really hold it. And in blockchain, we want to make that NFT. You can use many other utility. Yes, with that character, and you can all full ownership of the character.
Hmm. So can I just ask you, because I've not been playing games for a while,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm just thinking, right? So let's say today I create this character is called Kyohei, right? Kyohei is my Japanese name.
Mm-hmm.
It's like my in the past I use it as a nickname. So let's say I created this avatar, this character, right,
Yes.
as Kyohei in one of the metaverse, right,
Mm-hmm.
as an avatar. So what you are saying that means I created this, even though this game, right, Web3 game may not be around, I can still use this character to go into other metaverse or
Mm.
other games. Is
Yes.
that other Web3 games, because the interoperability, that means for my character, I can go to different because the code is the same. It's all sitting on the blockchain.
Yes, that means it's right. And even if metaverse is hard because even is one meta in the sandbox item or NFT
Mm,
cannot go to the other metaverse right now. And what we are
mm,
building is that in our Frutti Dino game NFT, you can use in our series of games upcoming on September. So you can our
mm,
fishing game or RPG game, defense game. You can use that in that, and we also also are open to cooperate with the others if it fits. Yeah.
mm. So you are is using on the certain platform, right? The same platform, is it?
Uh,
On a
so
certain chain?
yes, we are now on BSC chain, Binance chain,
Mm,
but
mm.
we are plan to open more, and if there's a chance, because our developer are in house, so we can do it. Yeah.
Mm. So you are saying that eventually, as long as let's say I created a character that I own, right, in Frutti
Mm-hmm.
Dino, then once you guys created other games, because you guys are a developer, right?
Yes.
Game develop, yeah. So when you create other games, so let's say you created, like say, Three Kingdom, for example. So this character can be
Used
uh
in three kingdoms.
used in.
Three
Okay.
kingdoms, but they had
Mm,
one in that character. They had maybe have the different abilities, right? So
mm,
in the three kingdom, maybe they have a good ability on fighting, but bad
mm.
on the durability, maybe. But
Okay.
on next game, but the ability will be different. But
Mm,
I think it is
yeah.
good to that you have your own character to use continuously, and it
Mm,
makes it increase the value of the your
mm.
NFT. We believe that.
So you were saying that if let's say there are other games developer, right, they develop game in Binance
Mhm.
chain, then if let's say that means this character can also go into their game.
There will be
Would that be?
maybe a little bit further future because we want to use our IP, our yeah.
Mm,
But if they plan if but it doesn't matter the chain. But if they onboard our IP using our IP to
mm.
game, then we are always welcome. Yes.
Okay. So that's where the interoperability will come
Yeah,
in.
and
Mm,
also we are already ready for the three series of games, so you can
mm.
see the true interoperability what it is mean.
Okay. So since you talk about like Frutti Dino and you guys are in Monoverse, right? You guys are creating a series of games. So are there other similar games or similar maybe Web2 brands, Web2 game developers that are going into that? Uh,
Actually, they usually in game they said two things: mass adoption and they want interoperability. But
mm,
what they think about the meaning of the word interoperability is different. How
mm,
maybe you will know the we made have a platform, but they have a many different games, but it's the same as interoperability concept, but you can use that one NFT in all different games.
mm.
But it is in one platform.
I get it. I get it. So because I recently I think I saw a news, right, talking about one of the major game developer or game brands, right? They were saying that they are not going to develop any Web3 games.
Mhm.
I do not know whether have you seen that. So why is that so? Because if I remember that gaming platform or game developer, right? They are quite famous. I cannot remember the name. I also do not want to name the name, but I do not know whether you know. So, what is the risk of those big names, right? Game developers coming into Web3 or saying no to Web3?
Yeah.
Is it because they are not ready yet, or because they still want to keep the members or the gamers with them until they are sure how to build that ecosystem. What are your thoughts in your own opinion?
There are two. I think there are two things. One is that they need to have a experienced blockchain developer, not the game developer. It's a difference. They need to have a blockchain developer in house. That is first to make a team, and if they have struggled to that, uh, they struggle to that. They might be the one reason, but they are but and also one that most significant thing that I previously mentioned already is that really blockchain technology have a full effective to their game. Uh, Even not integrated blockchain technology to their game, they can succeed and they can have they can give benefit to the gamers without just Web3 game. So they choose their strategy. That,
Yeah, because when you talk about that, right, I realized that not all games, let's say the existing games, are suitable for Web3,
mm,
right? Because they don't need that co-creation. They don't really need that community because they already have that community,
yes.
right? So they might not need to have that interoperability for this character to go to
Mm,
another. But I see, for example, if I'm not wrong, should be Bandai, right? So let's say like Dragon Ball, One Piece, all of them are from the same company, right? Or same, yeah. So if they have like Web3 set, let's say for example, my Dragon Ball character can go into One Piece can go into another one. I think that would be quite cool, right?
Hmm.
That would be where they, although they can create games that we have all these characters, but it will be a different feel, and also like you mentioned, right? Because it might not work because they want to own their own IP. They may not want to give us the freedom to create all these characters using their IP and then eventually become my character, right? So would you say that is like for Web3 games, right? It's better to start now from scratch than from Web2 then coming to Web3?
Oh, that's hard.
Is it a hard question?
Yeah, that's a hard question because I see just this at this stage, even though they have many fan based good original game to change Web3, they are still hard to build because they their all the fan are not to not transfer not transit to Web3, but it is good to have a really good fan base. But I think more who have new idea and good strategy about mass adoption for that is a good company. It doesn't matter is the size of the company. Yes, but I believe that even not the game like Pokemon and Super Mario, even they started with the games and they changed to animations and goods like that, and they also already start to transition I mean integrated with the blockchain and it's the NFT and also game. So they need to see what's the effectiveness and good effective positive effectiveness to their brand and IP.
Yeah, I realize that you keep talking about what mass adoption.
Mm,
So is it the part of the mass adoption of Web3? Like you talk about the MetaMask, creation of MetaMask is already a barrier for a lot of gamers, yeah, especially for those who are already used to the Web2 games, and for them to learn the whole thing about blockchain, about MetaMask, about crypto wallet, or even owning a coin, right? That might be too complicated for them,
yeah,
right?
even people not really know about the concept of NFT because I was like that. Once my friend said about NFT, and at that time most of NFT was PFP, like profile NFT, and
Yep, yep.
issuing 10,000 similar NFT and with a high price. I couldn't understand why they are buying it because with that price, and also
Yes.
you cannot use it, just you can copy and paste, and it's not really if you buy with that price it's not your IP, but you can just use that with on your SNS or social media profile, that's it. uh, so and many people, and also a blockchain equal to crypto, and now at this stage who play Web3 game, there are a little bit gamers, but a little bit scavenging about earning more, but we want true gamers really enjoy
Mm.
and have a fun, and
Um,
I believe that game must be killing the time. uh, so we focus on that. So we don't want
mm,
we. Now I'm not saying that we don't want Web3 gamers, but we want a real true gamer who enjoy the
mm.
game continuously long time.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing from, because like you mentioned, right, a lot of Web3 gamers, maybe they are already in cryptocurrency, they are
Mm,
already trading, they are already buying, or they are already investing in NFT, like the PFP, right?
yes, yes.
So like board games and all that. So they might have already invested that and they were already gamers, but they were in the crypto because crypto came first and then NFT, and then now with blockchain games. So it's like a transition for them, but for those who have not been in the cryptocurrency, it's hard for them. Although they might be already true gamers, that means they really like no day, no night. They are into the game, spending the time into the game. Whereas for most of the Web3 gamers, they are in Web3 because of investment,
Yes.
because of the certain opportunity, right? That's why they are in. So the entry level is different. So what I'm hearing from you is that you wish that if all these true gamers, that passionate gamers, that whether they earn money or not, they will still play the game. That is that type of gamers that you are really wanting them to come on board, right?
Yes.
So that's where the Web3 gaming can really rise. Because if not, without that passion, it's also very hard for this Web3 gaming industry to grow. Am I right?
It's right because mobile game and just game user are really high, but compared to that, Web3 gamer are a little bit still very low. So we need traditional gamers to bring them. That's why we start with the mobile game first to called Frutti Dino stories to bring them and make lower the barriers.
Mm. So when you talk about that, right? When you talk about barriers, right? I think this is also where I want to ask you this question. Will you say that women have more opportunity in the Web3 space, especially in gaming? Because when you talk about gamers, right? Typically the guys, like for me, right? I grew up in that. So how about for you? Because if let's say the adoption for the real gamers, right, is already that tough, right? So how about for women? What would you say would be the barrier for women? And if not for the barrier, what are the opportunity that they can have, especially for women?
Especially women, if you are you really enjoy the game, I think it's good to start with the game Web3 space. And even if you're not enjoy the game, there are uh lots of I mean projects and lots of themes that you can join. But but like DeFi or infrastructure or tools, you need to know you need to maybe or major or know much about the financial parts or the tech or IT parts. But that if you have that experience or welcome, but it's easy to start is a kind of NFT or community like that because that's how I started, how I engaged in Web3. So I think, and if you can speak English with your local language, then it's always welcome to start with a moderator and community manager. Then they like change to project manager and or builder advocates and or marketing. And I hope that more developer are coming in coming to Web3. We need, I think, diversity. Diversity will lead to more good outcomes. So I hope that there is more women developers.
Yeah, when we talk about it, I think recommended me a lady, right, who's
Mm,
a developer, right?
yes.
So so coming to that, right, would you say that because is it rare or is it not many women developers in this space, and or women can come in as a new developer, especially in the Web3, because Web3 is new, right?
Mm.
They can start from scratch if they have a certain interest or they see this opportunity. Like for your case, right? How did you get started? That means as a woman, you were saying you come in from the community aspect, is it?
Yes, I usually in Web3 there are still not much women, but mostly women do is marketing or project managing or business development or kind of that part. Not much in tech part or but it is same as IT industry or tech industry and financial industry also. So I hope that there are much developer or hoping or who are deciding which position or what kind of program they want to learn, then I like recommend them to learn like a language. I mean, not speaking language like a Java language or coding things to come to join Web3 because it's really good chance to open and maybe but you need to learn and a lot, but still I think there is a good opportunity for developers.
Yeah, because I see that you like there's a lot of challenges. But now in the Web3 with AI, right? Even you don't have the technical knowledge, you can always leverage on AI
Mm-hmm.
and develop something, or even have developers working with you, like you talk about diversity, right? Because when I come into Web3 with my marketing technology company, Consortium 21, I realized that in Web3 it's about community building. It's a lot about community building,
Mm.
and it's a lot of about diversity and inclusion. So that like for you, you talk about women plays a lot of roles in the marketing, in even project management, and especially in community building, because it's like a second nature, right, for a lot of women. Because I work with a lot of moms, a lot of women entrepreneurs for the past 14 years. They built fantastic community, but back then there's not much ways that they could monetize. They could even create a community and even gain from it. But now in Web3, right, they can always use the community approach and then grow from there. And if they want to raise any fund, they also can crowd fund with the community in Web3, like using an NFT, like launching an NFT project to support women. You can get all the women to support, maybe to buy the NFT at a very affordable price, but really like a Kickstarter project, right?
Mm-hmm.
To kickstart so that you can do all this, because I'm that's what I'm seeing also. So what would you say, right, are the challenges for women in the Web3 industry, and especially for you, what are the challenges that you face? Like you talking about the tech, the DeFi, the decentralized finance. What are the challenges that you personally face, and how did you overcome it?
Personally, just in Web3, you will have many challenges because it's 24 hours updating and going, and it's a multidisciplinary field, and you have, even you're a developer or even you're a project manager or even you're a community manager, you have to know the outline of the Web3 space or what your project are going. So that's the one challenge. But as a woman, you need to be, it depends on your character, but more to speak out and involved in your team, and share the opinions more and be proactive. And sometimes there will be discrimination when you do the business, but just disregard and just keep going what you want. And yes, because you will what not Web3, but you will face sometime people cross the red line or use aggressive word because they are renowned or already success or have a power. But you don't have to be just smile or just just smile or not nod. I'd rather just disregard about that and just keep going what you are building, what we are doing. Then it will not encourage about your work.
Yeah, thank you. And I saw that Jean has commented. She said DEI is important. So initially, right, I don't know what is DEI until recently. Do you know, right, what is the
DER,
DEI? DEI
well,
diversity. If I'm not wrong, Jean, correct me. Is diversity, equity, and inclusivity. If I'm not wrong, DEI. Right.
ah,
Yeah.
yeah, yes, it's
That's
diversity, diversity. It's very important. Yeah, important, and I also agree with her points.
Yeah. So I, like for me, when I come into Web3, right, I realized that this is the space, right, really for women to thrive. And when I connected with you and a lot of others, right, like you are on episode 5, right? You are on episode 5, and I've seen like such like everyone, right, is so passionate about, and I'm able to connect with, and some of them you were like they are like your role model, they are like your mentor. So I felt that we need more such role models like you stepping to Web3, leading this Web3 gaming, and also other women in other space, in Metaverse, in NFT, in DeFi and all that. So I think it's important to have this diversity, equity, and also inclusivity. And I think in the Web2, it might be a bit challenging for that. but I think in Web3 is very, very important. So thanks, Jean, for sharing. Yeah, Jean said that is right. Yeah. So for your case, right? What would you say? Who will be your greatest influence? We talk about role model. Who is your greatest influence or women in this Web3 space? I know who is it, but other than her, do you have other people?
Yes, because I got to know Kenneth from Matter, the founder of the blog Tide. I met her from the this earlier year in Thailand conference. I was inspired her charisma and ability to answer all of the diverse questions. She was the moderator of the presentation, but there was a lots of diverse project, but she was answering and mentioning and commenting. So I was really inspired about about her. And also there is one another woman in Korea. uh, she's also, but she worked for Web3 space, Web3 company, but her role is HR. I mean, uh, yeah,
Human
HR.
resource, yeah.
Yeah, but she tried to I mean, biggest influence. What biggest influence I got from her is that she tried to change image of the woman and also other disabled to join Web3 and also be part of, even have a kids they can join in Web3. She really tried that.
You
So
mean
I was
kids?
kids,
Kids?
like children,
Children?
children,
Oh, okay.
because I joined. I was at, because usually at the conference or the small, even small meetup, we think like that it's a business. Like
Hmm.
it's a kind of a showcase or presentation about
Yeah.
my present about my project. So we cannot go with my kids or
Hmm.
children, and most of the conference are in the weekend.
Yep.
Yeah, and she was with her son
Children.
and
Okay.
husband,
Ah.
her husband. And when she was present in during the meetup, and her son was like running around and took, but she said that she want to change this image, that
Wow.
children also can be in this part, and we
Hmm.
need to open mind. So I realized, oh yes, that's right. Or we have some like blind, or I was
Yep.
blinded. So
Mm-hmm.
she was actually tried that, and also empower women, and she more empower women as a developer.
Mm.
So I was also inspired at that.
Wow. So now when you talk about her, right, I'll say, okay, can you introduce Bonnie? Can you introduce me to her or introduce her to me, right? Because like she's the first thing, she's a mom and she's in
Mm,
HR and she's also having this diversity and inclusivity. Because I totally resonate with her 101% because I believe, right, in this Web3, right, about the those who are handicapped, those who are in on the wheelchair. It's
mm,
very hard for them to find job in the real world, right? But in the virtual world, in the metaverse or in Web3, right, they can be working remotely. So that's why for me, I'm very passionate about this project. Like if we can have this inclusive hiring, meaning that for those who might not be able to get job right in the real world, they can get a job in Web3. And that is
yes,
also the
yes.
reason why I created together with this organization, this social enterprise called Filipino Home Based Mom, which is Fish Mom, to create this Web3 masterclass for those stay-at-home mom or home-based mothers, so that we upskill them with these Web3 skills and then we hire them as intern. So potentially
Mm,
we will hire one of them, at least one of them, as our staff, right? At the end of
yeah.
this internship. So this is where I believe that that inclusive hiring, right, is very much needed in Web3. Because everybody can be online, even you
Mm,
log into the metaverse, you can be as your character, you can be there to service people, you can be there to as a customer service or virtual tour guide in the metaverse, right? To really do your work and be employed, and that's where you can also have a sense of ownership to own this job or take this role, right? So I think this is something when you talk about her, basically she also inspired me. She's also the great influence, a women, true women leader. Definitely, Martel has been inspiring, like you mentioned, right? When she's on stage, her charisma,
Yes.
and at the same time, her knowledge, right, in tech. Like I was like blown away by all her jargons, her lingo in that, and
Yes.
she's so smooth, right? She's so smooth, and I've never been so amazed by a woman, right? Especially on stage, in tech, in Web3, in gaming, right? She's
Yes.
amazing. Yeah. So thank you for sharing your two amazing influence, our women leader that you have shared with us. So time really flies. I really want to keep on chatting with you. So what would you say, right? What advice would you give to women who are interested in pursuing a career or business startup in Web3 or gaming? What would you advise them?
Uh, if you first to join or engage in Web3 space, I I recommend to you to be diversified first, and you need to know basic tech basic blockchain technology. Even not deep, but there are some words that they need to know. So studying is very important, and be flexibility and adaptability and resilience. Never give up. Even in the bear market, or even VC said something, oh, your project is not good, or I don't think it's much, I don't think any possibility, something like that. Don't give up. You need to have your resilience and like kind of your mind about your project or your career. Then you can survive in this space. And I believe Web3 space is very good field to have your career to opportunity. Yeah. So I recommend my friend also, even not changing your path, just like a little bit joining, a little bit like be part
Like
of.
the first step, right? Like taking the
Yeah,
first step, right?
yes,
To
yes.
understand.
Maybe your job and your product can be like kind of cooperate or collaborate
Hmm.
some near future. So I really recommend my friends about that.
Yeah, I like when you talk about it, like there's always a lot of possibility in Web3, right?
Mm,
Because Web3 comprises like VR, AR, AI, blockchain, cryptocurrency, DeFi, a lot, right? So even for Metaverse, so there's a lot of possibility that you will be able to integrate into whatever career you are in. Even like HR, right? I can tell you that the interoperability, the ownership for HR, I think is going to change the whole thing. Just that
mm,
we are waiting for that one person to really link it up smoothly, and he has to be a good use case, right, before it's being introduced to a lot of us. And even for gaming, right, I think a lot of game developers are working really hard to build a very solid use case on how Web3 gaming is possible, because the sky is the limit, right? There's a lot of possibility. We have not found that very good use case in a lot of sectors. So if you are good in certain sectors, right, with the knowledge, right, with someone, for example, you guys can reach out to Bonnie, with her knowledge as of now. I think she can connect you, or she can join the dots, and or she can maybe help to bridge your idea together with the tech and build something. Or you can reach out to any of the guests on Women in Web3 podcast.
mm,
They will definitely love to, because that's how they come about, right? They
yes.
may not know it at first, but they are able to connect it together with what domain expertise they are in, right? Like for
Yes.
my case is I combine Web3 together with women empowerment, Web3 with marketing, right?
Mm,
So I always talk about offline to online to metaverse marketing, is incorporating all that into my field, because I run my own digital marketing consultancy. So how
mm,
am I going to combine Web3 into marketing? Yeah, so the same thing for you. With your knowledge, you just combine it, you become the growth lead to really lead this space. So definitely kudos to you. Thank you for sharing so much. So before we wrap up, what would you say, right? What would you like to see women in Web3 playing in shaping the future of business and society?
As I think Web3, I mean, women in Web3 playing shape. I think as I think Jenna mentioned diversity, and diversity will produce more good and positive outcomes. And I hope that there will be just smoothly, as you said, smoothly linked into many industry in the near future and in our society. Even we didn't mention Web3 and blockchain, and it's going to happen. And many project or many developers are doing and start to building that. And as I am in the gaming part, we also hope that not just separate Web2, Web3 games, or hope that it's not the really the change the image. And also, as you mentioned, I always welcome to share insight or knowledge, because I also can advise you, or also, and I also get the idea from you, from you guys. And also, I got know Kenneth by LinkedIn, so don't be afraid to reach to someone, connect and message them, or even job opportunities or something like that. Be proactive. I think that is really want to highlight to women or everybody, or anyone that looking for to Web3.
Wow, thank you, Bonnie, for sharing that. Because when you talk about that, right, I think it's time for women to really step up, to really
Mm,
have the voice, to really be more proactive, right? Because this is like the new, how should I, new start of a new economy, like the
mm-hmm.
Web3 economy, the Metaverse economy. I think this is a good chance for you to come in to really have a voice, because I already seen a lot of women stepping into Web3. They're having their own platform, their community, their voice, right? And also having this podcast, hopefully that it will bring up more awareness, spotlight on more women like you in Web3, so that we you guys can inspire even more women to come into Web3. So that
Mm,
is my goal on it. So just now, Bonnie, you're talking about like they can connect with you to ask questions, to even seek for
yes.
advice. So how can they get connected with you?
Maybe LinkedIn, Twitter. But I most of use LinkedIn,
Mm.
and I think LinkedIn is good to socialize better than Twitter. I'm not saying that Twitter is not good, but I'm just saying good to, I mean, message and show you what you are building. It's good to message on LinkedIn. Then we can move to the like Zoom meeting,
Mm.
because I also recommend my friend to make account LinkedIn for your
Yes.
future, for your
Mm.
career.
Yes.
Yeah, so always welcome if you have any questions, or I love to talk with any over the world, global or Korea, any, or even not Web3. I love to talk with the startups. Yes, so always welcome.
Mm. Yeah, so for those who are interested to connect with Bonnie, right, you can just look at the ticker below. It's scrolling on LinkedIn, Bonnie dash J, right? So you can connect with her. She's very, very active in that. If you want to connect with her more, you can just arrange a Zoom, like how we connect, right? So
Yes.
we connect on LinkedIn, we start chatting, and then we did a Zoom, and then now we are here. So and furthermore, you say that you're coming to Singapore. I'm more than happy to really meet you in person. Yeah, because I see that you attend a lot of events and all that. And I would say you are the first Korean lady that I know in Web3, right? So definitely I would love to connect with you, and also connect with other women in Web3 or women in the
Yeah.
startup scene, because up next, right, for me personally, I have another project which is into female founders. This
Mm,
one I will share more with Bonnie offline later. So thanks a lot for sharing how they get connected with you. And now it's your turn, right, for you to share what is your question of the day for the next guest.
Next guest.
Yeah.
Next guest. I think it's a basic question, but what is your current challenge that you when you work
Okay.
and yes, when you work these days?
Okay. So what is your current challenge
Challenge.
today?
Yeah, just these days. Maybe she's also in Web3, but
Mm.
these days and any maybe how to overcome
Mm.
or stress out your when you have a challenge. I would like to know that.
Okay. So maybe, okay, can I rephrase the question? So what is your recent challenge that
Mm.
you have overcome? Is that good?
Yes.
Yeah. So let me just put out the question. So the question of the day posted by Bonnie is, what is your recent challenge that you have overcome?
Yes.
All right. So this question goes out to the next guest. So next guest, get ready to answer Bonnie's question before we officially start the show. So once again, I would like to thank Bonnie for sharing with us all this amazing thing in Web3 gaming, and how is it different from the normal gaming. What are the opportunity into gaming? So it's really a joy talking about gaming with you, and you know so much. There's so much things that I would love to be a part of. And thank you for your time. I know you are very excited. You're also prepared. Also gave me some amazing question to ask you. So thank you very much for making time and also agreeing so fast to be on my podcast. Looking forward to see you in Singapore. So do you have any last words for the audience today?
Thank you for your valuable time. This and always welcome, as I mentioned, always welcome for LinkedIn or message if you have insight or questions. And also, I really empower women and all newbies or to in Web3, and even now Web3, I really empower these days because economy is not good. So empower all people there who are really working hard in their space. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Bonnie. And I saw Jean was commenting that welcome to LinkedIn Web3 community. And she said that we should create a new group together. So what's your say?
Oh yes, of course we can, but we already have a woman network changer right, and also
Hmm.
we could also make a one another one to share like a everyday update insight. That would be always awesome because I check like almost news and 100 group update every day. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, so in fact, I have one idea. Maybe like over here, right, online, right, since Jin is still on, and also for the rest, right. If you guys are interested, because I want to see how we can grow women in Web3, and because Bonnie is also like a community leader, you are passionate about empowering women. I know Jin also passionate about. So maybe the three of us we can meet together and see how we can grow these women in Web3. And furthermore, I have this Web3 masterclass that I've already done with FH Mom. And because this is my own IP, right? Maybe I can share with both of you and see how we can grow this, and also share with more women so that they can learn and learn the basic. And then maybe with your contribution, we can have mass adoption, right? We can allow more women to come on board to learn Web3, like how both you and Jean has learned, because you guys are good examples. So for me, I'm just facilitating. I'm just creating this platform for us to even empower more women. So this is just things throwing out. So, but for those who are tuning in, I see that we still have about quite a lot of friends that still on live stream. So that's why if you guys are interested, you can always connect with me on LinkedIn or connect with Bonnie, and then we can talk offline or on Zoom. Yeah. So
Yes,
let's
of
come together to build this together to empower more women. Even you are a male, you are championing women, you are passionate about that. You can always come. I need more male allies, right? I need allies to really come on board to champion women, to help out, because in Web3 we talk about diversity, we talk about
yes.
inclusivity, and most important thing, right, is to have the equity, right? So everybody have the fair share of it, and it takes two hands to clap, right? So let's work together, like me and Bonnie. I believe that we can work fantastic things together, even with Jean. So that just putting it out to the universe and hope to connect with you guys. So once again, let's thank Bonnie and also those who are tuning in. For those who are watching the replay, right? Thank you for watching and listening to Women in Web3 podcast. That we aim to spotlight on women that's doing fantastic in the Web3 space, as like in Metaverse, NFT, and blockchain. So thank you very much, and I shall see everyone in the next episode. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you
Thank you
everyone.
very much.
See
Have a nice
you.
day.